Thanks, bro. I'll just be listening in, just learning at the moment. I'll
I
continue to
personally
learn,
don't mind people interrupting me, so just stop me,
of course.
ask me questions. Why is it private? Oh, because I'm not logged in as.
How's it, guys?
No. Sorry, YouTube is just fighting with me.
I was also struggling with my computer just now.
It's more because I'm logged in as. Let me do this rather. Am I live already? I don't know.
Oh, you mean on the YouTube thing?
Yes. It is actually impossible for me to tell. I think I am. Okay, so you do not sound like a mad person. Just to check that we're logged in there. Yes, we are live. Muted. Okay, so I can put that in the background. Okay, so just broad overview. Kiru and I were discussing where to from here for Bitcoin. The one time I'm short, the market decides wants to pump.
And then I don't know if it's just me, but your volume has gone very low.
I don't know who's talking to the mic, but
okay, right now it's loud.
I need to get myself another screen so I can set the things up properly. I mean, overall, Bitcoin certainly bullish territory. We're still up. And like we always look at, nothing has changed in terms of Bitcoin against gold, 21 ounces for Bitcoin. No matter what we say, we are well above 16, so we are in bullish territory. We should only be buying dips. I know I shorted Bitcoin, but that is a short-term play. Don't judge me. I am going to dig my feet in the ground and say that there is a certain correlation with gold and Bitcoin at this point in time. And can you debate that? Look at that. The orange line is Bitcoin. And obviously the normal chart is gold. So we get these big departures, but are we seeing the world or the system of money accepting Bitcoin as the replacement for gold? Will they behave together? I think so. Because no matter the attraction to gold or anything, the reality is that if you have $1 billion of Bitcoin on a wallet, you can walk over a border, no issue. You cannot do that with gold. I mean, you can try, but there's only a certain amount of gold chains and rings you can wear. And I think $1 billion of gold would they won't allow you on the airplane. So that to me is a good thing for where we are in the space now. I think, Kiru, you said BlackRock now has over 50,000 Bitcoin, which is, I would say it's quite alarming because we only sort of a month into it. They started first week 2,000 Bitcoin. We now had 50,000 Bitcoin. I just want to see if this video works. What bothered me the other day that it didn't.
So
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah, it's working.
It's weird. It just didn't work the other day.
So I miscalculated on how aggressive how scared the U.S. government was running, and now they realize that Bitcoin's actually better for everyone. It keeps perfect records. It the people who they all thought were criminals using Bitcoin, turns out they were all caught. So using dollars is probably better for a criminal. And I think that there's going to be a moment where there's a run on the banks the way after the Civil War there was a run on Confederate money, and there was a run on the Greek drachma and a run on the French franc when they became a part of the euro. So I actually think that there will be a moment in time when I can buy my food, clothing, and shelter all in Bitcoin, and people won't want dollars anymore.
I think that we need to also take note of where we are in regard to that, because if it's one thing we do know, governments don't like to be out of control. If you look at BlackRock now and the ETFs, collectively they still don't control supply. And I was having this chat in the group, and I don't think the guys understood me. It's like, even if you own 1 million Bitcoin, you still don't control the network. And one of the biggest things we need to understand is that even if BlackRock and all of them own maybe 200,000 Bitcoin now, a large portion of Bitcoin is in retail's hands. Do we need to explain that you're going to have to hold, do not sell? So I would say, they always say follow the smart money, but they're buying it up in huge droves. You're not necessarily seeing it in price per se, but the biggest thing you can do as a holder of Bitcoin is not sell to them, at least. Because anything we sell, they're going to take. The more they hold, the more they will be able to. I mean, they can control it via futures, but not long term. Because the futures have a limit in terms of you being able to short something that other people hold. And like we've discussed and from the beginning already, the seller of an asset controls the price. Because if I own 1 million shares and I'm the only one that has the shares in a country, I can define the price that I sell it. No buyer can influence me because I decide. I own the supply. And if people can understand that, it's the one thing that the crypto space gives you. You can own the supply of something. Not necessarily control the supply, but you can't do that in any other trading environment. You can't own the S&P 500. Even if you bought 20 million or 50 billion of it, you can't own it. In shares, yes, but you go look at, I mean, to own a controlling interest in Google, I don't even want to know. And to have controlling interest in Apple, and I'm not saying Bitcoin is a share, but I'm saying the way assets work. So for me, I think we should be aggressively buying Bitcoin, the actual asset. But that's my opinion, not financial advice. I almost want to say we're doing nothing per week. Because last week we were at 1.5, like 100 billion came in. And that might just be the new token launches. It might not be new money. You can contest me if you think I'm talking nonsense. We tend to have found support there. So that to me, and I think there's a bit of steam being lost in this being an indicator for alts alone, because not all alts are ETH based. I think we need to find what chart can I don't want to set up a new chart, so let's do Sol BTC. That's so low. Bear in mind, I'm just looking at this chart now. That might not be a bad thing to look at this as a sort of litmus test for where we are in the market. And yes, Solana had 5 hours down yesterday, but doesn't seem to have affected price much. I honestly think the Solana degens don't care. They probably needed the break because it's ridiculous, actually, the amount of tokens that release on Solana per minute. So this, just look for when that date changes. This is the amount of tokens that released today. I think it's way past where ETH is at this point, because people have discovered that it's a lot cheaper to launch a contract on Solana and be trading within minutes, because you have Dex Screener and you have Jupiter, and you have to provide the liquidity when you launch. So they're doing it with $1,000. I mean, in terms of a business proposition, come up with a token, launch it with $1,000 liquidity, get trading. Who's to say you eat maybe 500,000, and some of them eat 1 million, and then the token's gone. Not rugged, but it's just like people are done with the interest of it. So you'll see. Yeah, market cap $291. They launched Dodo, prices whatever. So it even scores it for you. Yeah. So it's a good thing to be in this channel, so you just see the tokens, but it is also annoying. And I will say it again, that the strength in cryptocurrency, or tokens at least, is in the community that they build and the teams that manage things. So if you want to see how a team is like super efficient at building community, you have to look at Monad. So how it goes in Monad, you join in the newbie chat. One day it will load. Okay. So once you join, you're going to have this tag of newbie, which means you won't see the rest of the whole server, so to say. You need to have what they call full access. So they make you sit here and they create an environment where you need to chat all the time and prove your worth, and you get the full access. These are the sort of moderators, and everybody and their grandmother wants to be an ad. But full access gives you the rest of the thing, and then you start seeing the rest of the server, and then you basically need to start submitting memes. And what they have is a private Telegram group. Now, in that Telegram group, you have to have the NAD tag and be a major contributor. And somebody has to nominate you. So you have to basically live in this Discord. There's a few 100,000. No, it's just over 100,000 people inside. Monad, 118K. And only 300 so far have the NADS thing. I don't have it yet either. I've given up. I don't have the time to sit in Discord all day long. And I mean, look at the engagement here. And this is, the chat is on slow also. So you can't just chat like you want to. Why can't I get rid of that? So where you see that it's slow mode. So basically, the reason why I'm pointing out this, Monad has no testnet available. It's just an idea at this point in time. They might be working on it or whatever, but the interest in this token is so fervent. VCs are wanting to get in, and even they can't get in. And there's no product. It's beyond. So if you look at something, this is another one. So Parachain, which I suggest is one of the airdrop things that you guys work on. So when you join this server again, so it's part of the task is that you must get the Bearer Club role. So you get thrown into hibernation hole, and you must chat your way out of it. Then you get to the Kabiel before you become a full bear. At least there's a testnet here, but there's certainly no mainnet. Whereas if you look at something like Scroll, they're on mainnet. Already they've released everything, but it's really not a lot happening there. And they're closer to launching the actual token than any of those other two. But I'm sure if you've been around crypto for even a month or two, you've heard of the ZK roll-up thing. So in the roll-up space, there's a competition like anything to be the best, fastest, or whatever. And I don't know, it's like they're coming up with names. But in simple terms, it's just the layer twos. And we saw Dimension launch yesterday, which is now, I think it's just over $5. Hey, 6. Maybe you don't want to look at the 4-hour chart. You see, Kiro, that's why I said certain coins, they don't give you a second chance to buy.
Yeah, the Dimension is doing quite well. Even with all the sell-off, the holding up, it's going up with selling.
What's hilarious is the actual network was failing last night because of all the activity.
Yeah.
So you'd have to wait like up to half an hour, and people were even accusing Bybit of locking away the funds. And I'm like, no, it's not Bybit, it's the entire network.
Yeah. I know people are complaining that the funds weren't reaching Bybit, Bitget, and the Binance.
The thing that I was,
But it actually worked out better for them because yesterday they were selling at $4 and $4.50. Today they can sell at $6.
well, the thing is, you could sell it on osmosis.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, look at this. So everywhere it launched at about 450, somewhere around there, went up to maybe 6. KuCoin went up to 25. And for a long time, it was sitting at 11, 10. So what I was trying to do is to buy on osmosis, send it via IBC and send it there because they were only accepting it on the Cosmos network, whereas everyone else was on the sort of EVM side. And
Did
it
it
was
work?
just failing. It was failing. I couldn't do it. Then I discovered today that if you take your wallet and import it into Kepler, immediately your dimension tokens become available. Where's it now? Kepler. So I could take my. Now I've staked and I've sent funds and probably shouldn't have, but so this is what was in this wallet imported in this wallet they imported into, and suddenly you're on the dimension thing, no bridging, nothing. And then there is now rumor that Wormhole will give an airdrop to people that stake in dimension, obviously. So either that snapshot happened today or early yesterday. So you can stake your dimension. Yeah.
Is Orbiter part of Wormhole? Or are they using
No,
Wormhole as a bridge? No, separate.
no.
I
So
think only did
they
one bridge on Wormhole.
well, maybe one bridge is all it needs. I know Mayan Finance does Wormhole and Portal. So Orbiter is layer 0.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to say that I personally, because, and Kiru, you've been around long enough to know that original bridges were horrible experiences.
Terrible. Yeah, I know. I remember the Phantom Bridge. Your money is
And
gone for like half an hour, and you don't know whether it's left the right hand side to reach the left hand side, but it never reaches there for half hour. It's lost somewhere in between, and you just have to. If you smoke a couple of cigarettes and wait till it reaches. Or start panicking.
when it is like a large amount,
Yeah.
you are struggling to gain your sanity there. So Wormhole reminds me of that. So I was trying to get from PNB chain it's there, and then to end up on Oasis.
Lynn, wasn't the Wormhole hacked a couple of months ago? They were the ones that hacked that lost like 4 million ETH or 40 million ETH or something.
No, man, that was multi-chain. So you see, when you bridge from, and bridging is now taking this funds from here and putting it on a completely different network, which I must say is a bit more intricate or extensive than layer 0 technology, because layer 0 still lives in the EVM only space. So this thing is, Wormhole has the ability to take it across like to Solana, other networks that are completely away from it. Like it's a whole other network. But you see, when you see things like target send tokens, redeem tokens, that reminds you of bridges before, where you had to sort of process a transaction for everything.
Yeah, one step at a time. And the fourth step, you have to wait. And then we'll be spinning for minutes, and you'll have to wait for it to turn green.
So it can be a bit unnerving. But look, like I always say, in the crypto space, you are rewarded for testing out things. And part of testing out things means that you're going to be trying things first, which doesn't always have explanations on how to do it. So sometimes you learn the hard lesson yourself. I mean, I remember I spent one day for, I don't know if you heard of Asmatch. I don't care for the app itself. It's like a decentralized version of maybe Tinder, I think. But it's not a Tinder thing. But they had a token. it took me 1.5 days to do their tasks. I got 20 tokens and they're about 50 cents each. Like that wasn't worth it. Because eventually, I mean, in order to make more points, you kind of have to be swiping and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, not interested. It's also quite tedious when something goes wrong here, because in the decentralized space, there is no customer support. So when you're going to, let's say you're stuck somewhere, you're going to have to either go into the Discord things, ask people, and that can be a fact-finding mission of its own. I've always managed to find things, but it's just sometimes you end up spending an hour in something that it was supposed to be 5 minutes. So yeah, there's quite a few what they call cross-chain swaps. So trying to think of that thing. Luminix. Now, this is also a very intricate system, but if you look at what it can do, so let's say we swap. You need to read carefully when you do something. You see, you'll see here there's BNB chain, Tether on BNB chain. Then you'll see USDT on Ethereum. And you'll see BSC USDT on Oasis. So now when we go look at the farms, obviously because I added funds is now 1,000% only. Yesterday it was 1,400. But I don't know. This one was 1,400. It's now down to 400. But for stable coins, BSC USDT and ETH USDT, 400%. It's worthwhile. And then you click on it, add liquidity. You have to look at which chain it's on. So let's say you deposit, you have to have on that chain already. And this system they don't show you how to bridge. You kind of have to search. So you go into the documentation. And you go for bridging tutorial. And you say, okay, start your tutorial here. Suddenly you can bridge. Which ultimately takes you back to the swap. So what they're not telling you is that the swap is actually a cross-chain bridge. Very ugly UX, but this is the stuff you want to be messing with, in my opinion. Also, to get here, you have to create a wallet. No, I don't want to search Google for that. So we all know the token Rose. So this is the native network that Rose lives with. So if let's say you buy Rose on Binance, you will deposit it to this address because they only support that. Then if you wanted to get to an EVM thing, like to be able to use it here, you'll see it's set up to work in MetaMask. You will come to Paradigms and you'll simply just deposit the paradigm. You say, I want it on Sapphire, next. Let's say we just send 10. Now we see how fast it takes. Seems like it's forever, but I mean, here we go. Now, it's not like there's videos always on how to do these things. You just have to figure it out for yourself. I'm not sure if there's any questions. We will. Well, I'll be doing more airdrop stuff, and for me, it's like, yes, it will bombard you in the Telegram group, but my approach is pick the projects that you think are worthwhile, and do all the tasks on that one, and do it timely, because if I post it, you don't know which time. I mean, we all kind of, you should see some of the people moaning about wormhole because everybody intended to do something and then they never end up doing it. Suddenly the snapshot's done, and you know those that did it. Some of the best airdrops are just those that took action. I mean, for the Jito Sol one, I think people were the lowest airdrop was $10,000 worth of the token. I'm not too certain how many tokens you needed to do, but you just had to post Solana there in liquidity. And like I said, for me, Parcel is now top of the list. And this is a simple one. If you're not doing this, then, you know, don't give up your day job. So it's simple, yeah. You just go to provide liquidity, and you literally, I mean, I've got $55 parked there, and it's earned me over 10,000 points. I don't know how long though. I also longed and shorted a bit, so, but I don't know. I don't even know where to find the trades that I don't care about that side. I just want to grow the points. I must come put more funds here because I think we're in phase 2 already. The other one is margin fi, and this is on Solana. And it's not like these things are hard to do because you're literally just coming and supplying. You should borrow something, but I haven't borrowed yet. But I mean, there's points, and Zero Lend is on. So Zero Lend announced something today. I can just remember what that's it. Because of their relationship with Pith, I think they're even giving an airdrop of Pith people to whoever provides liquidity on Zero Lend. Yay, learning points. So Kaden, no one knows actually, and I think the people in the airdrop world, so airdroppers, no one knows the criteria of an airdrop until they drop. And I think Arbitrum defined a lot of things where they mentioned that they could find out if you were using more than 10 wallets at a time, the volume counted of the amount of transactions you did, where you did it. And I think what these projects are doing by allocating points is that they're trying to lead you to understand what counts as a criteria. It doesn't necessarily translate into tokens per se in that regard, but it's just like I've discovered on Parcel that posting liquidity earns you way more points with very little downside other than, the project going down, that you'll earn more points in actually doing the transactions there. So I tend to forget about certain things. So I should have put more money in there, but the point system does help you know that you at least getting somewhere. And if you look at the rankings, some people have stupid money in crypto. Also, so you'll see the announcement will go out here. They'll be discussing it now. Guys say got anxiety now that all these airdrops are hitting. And, once they take the snapshot, there's nothing you can do afterwards. So you just need to move on. And I think that we don't understand the depth of how these people work, because these guys farm airdrops. They live off it. It's their jobs. So, hey, oh no, that updated now. So for Zero Lend, which I still recommend that you do, the biggest thing was obviously staking Perth before and borrowing and lending. Let me just go say good morning in now, even though it's nighttime. You earn 10 points a day. Yeah, I feel like I'm talking to myself here. Is still everyone around?
No, you're not. Yeah, you're paying attention. In the airdrops, I think if you don't have a lot of money to invest, there's a lot of the testnet ones are not bad at all. In testnet one, you don't need you don't need to use any funds or invest anything. It's just you get the testnet token, set up your wallet, and continue.
Yeah.
Which one? The testnet?
Yeah, all the testnet ones don't involve you using any physical cash. It's all test tokens that the network gives to you to perform all the tasks. There's no gas fees, no transaction fees, nothing. It's all free.
So free means obviously no physical cost. That you need to be early on those ones. Like, I don't know if you heard of Ambit Finance, who was rewarding testnets, and suddenly they are live. The product is live. And ultimately, it's not rocket science what Ambit is, but they are, you post your USDT, you earn APR, but you get to use a USDT wherever else. So let's say I wanted to go mess about and trade and whatever, and I've got 100 USDT, I can post it there. It seems to be that the general BNB chain is accepting a USDT. Okay, we will definitely be posting all the testnet stuff in COINfused Telegram. I just want to warn people that it can get extremely overwhelming. So the best thing to do is allocate a time per day and just get started on something. And if there's something that needs daily stuff, it will just fit in that, let's say, 30 minutes of your day. For me, I'm up early, so I can do these things fairly quickly. But don't let the overwhelm get you. Just start and continue. It's not I promise you, eventually it will become so second nature that you just don't need to think about it. Hey, Kiru?
Yeah, it does get overwhelming. I mean, I started in, I think, late December, and I stopped for the last 1.5 weeks of December, first week of Jan, and I'm already farming like about 25 airdrops.
And received some also, so it's not
Yeah,
like
I started in
you.
December. I think I received 3 already to the value of about $800, $900. From starting in December only. I think
Yeah.
the one that everyone should do is we'll send through some DOP links. I've checked today and they're definitely launching in next month on the DOP one, and it's a testnet one. And that one is it's super simple. You know, Lynn, we had a hard time doing it when they first launched with getting the Sefolia across and bridging and all that. Now you don't have, now they got one click buttons and that does everything. I just set it
Okay,
up on
so
another machine today on my son's laptop, and everything is one click. It literally takes 5 minutes to do all 8 tasks.
so for me, guys, that's worth it. I mean, like, I'm also this one is gonna cost you a bit because you're gonna have to send from Ethereum. But I'm going to put my head in a block and say that mode is one of the bigger ones.
Yeah, I think for the guys that got money to invest and that's big on ETH, then even staking ETH, I think the Eigenlayer is a big one to learn, and I think there's only 2 days left for Eigenlayer. I think
Okay,
the
but
minimum
Eigenlayer is big money.
the minimum ETH there for Eigenlayer is like 1 ETH.
Yeah, if you're not staking one ETH and restaking stuff there, then it's not worth being there.
Yeah,
But I would focus heavily on
the bridging.
um, I can never find it. This one. Can we all start checking this page when they allow more Solana in here? Because this is the eigenlayer of Solana. It
Or
looks like they've
mantle.
opened. There, it's increased. It's increased.
What's that mantle?
No, it's Picasso, but remember they must gamify it now. You need to join.
Yeah, I know it does. Yeah, that Pika token, but there is a cap twice already.
Yeah, but now I see there's 150,000 sold, so it's only 55% full.
Yeah, it's a. And what's the site again, Lynn?
I will post it in the group.
James Mantis. Okay.
And this is the video that goes with it. Which you shared with me.
Yeah. But just to go on to it now, better take one solder at least.
I'm glad you're rich and have Sol available.
No, from this thing, Jup airdrop.
Deposit. So just choose whichever asset you want to deposit. So for this tutorial, I'm going to deposit some Blaze liquid stake Sol, and then you just deposit.
Welcome to my life, people. We have millions of tabs open. Anyway, so I mean, for me, like, there is no other space in the world that rewards you for messing about, playing a game. Some of the games are stupid. I mean, they really are really dumb.
And they're very glitchy at this stage, but then that's what they're paying you for. Your patience and your time and your frustration of playing these games. Like, you know the Fakana one I told you I made my son play?
Yes.
They paid out 1,200 tokens. And he only played it for twice in one day.
But I think having a son costs more than the 1,002 tokens.
And
So
that is Viva money.
Look, we're heading up to an hour, so I don't really go longer than that. But I definitely think airdrops is a good way because there's multiple levels to it. You learn how the protocol works, and sometimes if it's testnet, you get to make your mistakes there. And we are always around, so if you get stuck somewhere, just message. So it doesn't take me long to pick up a message.
I will try and post videos with it as well.
We'll try, but
Yeah.
you know, and also, but my frustration is in creating videos. Sometimes I'm behind because I have to edit the process.
No, we
It
can
makes
find
you
the
lose.
videos that we get on of other people doing it on YouTube and share those ones too.
Yeah, but we don't want you to like. It's very difficult because if you end up following too many people, if you want to see my Twitter space, it's a minefield. There's a lot of untrustworthy people there posting things for clout. You kind of have to sift through. So that's why I'm hesitant to always post a link because because you think I'm posting it, you think I trust the person, whereas I'm really just looking at the content sometimes. You know, this urgent people on they constantly pushing things anyway. And he's like the biggest airdrop farmer in the world at this point in time. But he trolls all the time, so you never know whether he's serious on Twitter or not. So, but this will be good information. So he's saying, look, Shimmer Bridge is largely unknown. They won't have a token. They're quick, they're cheap to, and it's also layer 0 powered. So, like I said, base is also very good to be involved in. So this is a interesting one from Starknet. They've posted the seed phrase of this wallet, and they said if you can get funds out of this, you can keep it. So the question is, 150,000 USDC is in there, and if you understand how Bravos works, is that if I've got the app here or the wallet. So in order for me to move anything here, I can't just send it from here. I need to sign it with a mobile app side of things. And I think that's what they're trying to get at with people, is that the seed phrase alone in the Starknet world isn't good enough to take over your funds. You need to have multiple factors that you can manage yourself. So you can have a hardware signer as in your phone, which is Face ID plus your clicking the physical button. If you lose seed phrase, you can still get in by other means of social logins, and maybe like sending to a friend as a signer and saying, let's say I decide Kiro is a signer in, then I can get an email sent to him. He needs to approve that. And that can be a verification of my wallet. So they tried to get away from just the seed phrase. So we'll see within a few hours or by tomorrow if anybody managed to get funds out. And just because I'm showing you Twitter now, it's the first time that there's actual decent information on the timeline. It's hilarious, actually. But normally there's like these guys. So what they will do is they take somebody else's work and they just put it out as a tweet. And, because it's legit information, they end up getting followers. Anyway. So I'm going to say, do the work, we'll post the things, but ask us questions, because we always, literally every day we are busy. I don't know, there's something about my brain that conceptually thinks it's free money. So it's like, hey, who doesn't like free money? And I really like the idea that it forces somebody to learn how that process works. You see, this is why Photoshop can do a lot of things. It's just nonsense. And obviously they get you with a, dimension was $1,000. So potential is 2,000. Nobody knows. But I mean, I knew about dimension, and the one criteria was that you claimed your tokens before. So even though you may have qualified, if you didn't claim, you didn't get. Anyway, it is 9 o'clock now.